It's just overall very nice and strange feeling to have him on the same side of the court. You know, we've been rivals for 20 plus years and always kind of kept secrets from each other, the way we practice, the way we prepare, the way we approach, and the matches, and you know, never wanted to show weakness to your main opponents, your rivals. But now it's different. You know, we spent 8-9 days together, and you know, we shared a lot of information even before we met, and then together. For those 8-9 days was really great quality time on and off the court, getting to know each other, I think, on a different level that we haven't had a chance to have in the past 20 years. So to have a legend of the game, someone that is known to be as an intelligent tennis player as there is out there, you know, is a great honor, great pleasure for me. So, you know, I love talking to him about the nuances, the details, how I can improve my game, how I can, gain an inch court positioning more, you know, comparing to my opponent, and every bit of percentage counts at the highest level, and so what I've been getting from him already, you know, is really positive. But, you know, we haven't spent too many days on the court together, so I look forward to having him in Melbourne.
Get back on top.
I'm not looking to transform my game completely. I mean, I'm not going to be Giovanni serving 2 first serves and coming into the net, but you know, I definitely am looking to improve, even if it's the slightest percentage, every single shot that I have in my game. And maybe something that people don't necessarily see is this court positioning, is the transition play, the tactics. Yeah, just focusing mostly on myself, really, how I can be better physically, game-wise, mentally as well, and ready to compete whatever it takes, how many hours it takes with the youngsters, and then of course, you know, I think. In the upcoming weeks, we will also, particularly the week before Australian Open start, do a lot of video analysis of my main opponents and top guys, trying to understand how my game matches up against theirs, and you know, what I've done in the past well, what I can improve. So there's quite a bit of analytics in there, and I am that kind of person. I like to go into details, and but when the tournament starts, I like to keep things, I mean, the conceptually simple, and the base needs to be there, and then of course there's always something each day that kind of surfaces that you need to address. And we'll see. It's just the beginning of the season. I mean, I have the next kind of 5-6 months calendar in my head. You know, possible scenario, but you know, still have to review post Australia. I'm committed to play Doha, and then I have to see, you know, Indian Wells, Miami, and I wish to play both, but we have to see how I feel and talk with the team, and just manage the schedule right, because I want to peak at the biggest tournaments, slams obviously, but also Masters events, some of the Masters events that I'd like to play my best tennis. So so yeah, let's see. I mean, maybe it seems to me that I'm going to play slightly more tournaments this season, but I have to see how it goes. It's just the beginning.
And yeah, I felt you know, relatively pretty good physically. My legs, my body felt really good. I felt fit, and you know, I'm in great shape. But I obviously felt some discomfort with the wrist. I mean, he does serve and hit the ball a lot bigger than probably some of the people that I've practiced with in the last year. But you know, there's no hiding. You know, once you commit to playing like that, you got to be ready. And I'm relatively really happy with how it went. You know, if I had to win that match, I'm honestly not sure if I'd be able to play my second round. So there's positives, but there's a lot more work to do. But yeah, I mean, props to him. He's a hell of a player. And yeah, I mean, I've played, Karlovic, Isner, all the, Raonic, all the big servers, and he's got the biggest serve by far. So, yeah, that was interesting, and it sucked. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I did miss the competition. I compete every day, whether it's a game on my phone or, I love the competition. And look, I've given a lot to this sport, and everything that as that's come good in my life has come, basically from this sport. So, yeah, like going out there again, playing a top player like that, super confident, even getting aced. I was 4-2 down in the third set tiebreak, change of ends, and I was still, smiling to myself and just like, we're right, in the heat of the battle where, 18 months ago, if you asked me and my physio, like, and my coach that's here this week, he was feeding me fluffy balls, like with my wrist. We were not expecting to be here playing again, and at such a high level. Like, we were literally a couple points from winning. So there's a lot of positives, but again, it gets how much do I want to take of the trauma on the body, the pain. I guess, when I played majority of my career, I was playing pretty much pain-free. You go out there for 2-3 hours, you'd enjoy the battle and you would just focus, where now it's like there's just constant pain in that wrist. So look, I'll definitely keep battling for a little bit, but yeah, it was definitely cool to be back out there. The reality kind of set into me today, like that's a best of 3 match with my wrist, and if I'm able to, like, not only as a Grand Slam mentally, like really draining, like that you're there for 2.5, 3 weeks. It's like physically a grind. Like, it's arguably one of the hardest things to do in any sport is win a Grand Slam in men's tennis. So I think I almost need a miracle, and I need like the stars to align for my wrist to hold up in a Grand Slam for sure. Today, if this was a Grand Slam, we may still be out on court, and I don't know how I'd pull up the next day or the day after. So yeah, that's kind of the reality setting in. But look, I'm just so happy to be part of the Australian summer again, and hopefully my partner, continues to play the doubles here. It would be fun, but I completely understand if he wants to prioritise the singles. But I'm keen to see what happens around the Australian Open.
As the new season begins, Novak Djokovic and Nick Kyrgios set out their contrasting goals after the first round of the Brisbane International. Novak Djokovic, fresh off a 6-3, 6-3 victory over Rinky Hijikata, is working closely with former rival Andy Murray. The two are now on the same team, sharing insights and strategies as Djokovic looks to fine-tune his game for the upcoming Grand Slams. Djokovic says the partnership has already been productive, focusing on small improvements in his tactics and court positioning to stay ahead of the younger competition, including the likes of Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. Meanwhile, Nick Kyrgios is back on court after struggling with wrist issues for much of the last 18 months. Despite a tough 7-6, 6-7, 7-6 loss to Giovanni Mapecci Pericard, Kyrgios remains positive, highlighting his physical fitness and eagerness to compete again. However, he admits that playing through the grueling demands of a Grand Slam will take a miracle for his wrist to hold up. Both players are focused on their paths forward, but for Kyrgios, the road to recovery remains as uncertain as ever.